Guys, welcome back to Extremely Annoyed. It's your boy, the one and only Extremely Annoyed himself, Benny B from the Bronx. And I just gotta say, I'm definitely annoyed about that fight. Netflix really fucked up with that. I mean, the entire thing was buffering every freaking 10 seconds. It was annoying as hell. Almost broke my phone like a couple of times. I definitely turned off my Wi-Fi a few times to restart it, thinking it was an issue that I had with the Wi-Fi. But obviously, it turned out that it was an issue with the servers with Netflix because a lot of people was turning in. But anyway, the fight itself, I'm gonna say, okay, let me just break it down. The first fight between Rajesh, or whatever his name is, the Indian dude, the Elvis version of India versus the Rick Draves version of Brazil. That fight sucked. Like it was just a slap box. It wasn't even boxing. I mean, and I feel like when he started humping, I get what he's trying to do. And I'm sure he's seen it before with that little short dude. I forgot his name. He's a real boxer, real champ. I'm not a big fan of his. I haven't really even watched any of his fights, but I seen it before, like a clip of him humping another boxer. Then, the guy that he was boxing that he did it to did it back to him. But anyway, he got that from that. I feel like. And he was trying to aggravate the guy because the guy wasn't even fighting right at first. The Brazilian dude, Ricky Travis, he was just there. He was just there standing around, and this guy's he's pretty fast, right? The Indian dude is pretty fast. Rajesh, whatever his name is, he was pretty fast. But they was, like I said, slap boxing. There wasn't really boxing. But anyway, coming back to the point that he would start humping the guy, trying to get him aggravated, so he could actually do something with him and give the people a show. He should have been disqualified right away. I don't think that shit is cool. It's not funny. It's not entertaining for me. I mean, everything else he was really entertaining. If I'm gonna give him that, I'm gonna be fair. With the dancing and yeah, come on, my friend. Like all that other stuff was great, but the fight itself sucked. And the fact that this man thinks he has a chance against Jake Paul is funny as hell. He has no power. He's pretty fast, but he has no power. And when he punches, again, he looked like he's slapping. He's not even like he would break his wrist. He probably did break his wrist against that Brazilian dude. I mean, he looks like he's just slapping. The second fight after that between Boris, I think his name is, and Romors, the two Mexican dudes, that shit was, that honestly worth the entire event. That fight and the fight between the two females, Katie and Amanda, worth the entire event because the main event sucked. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul sucked. It was unfortunate to see that fight happening. I mean, the videos prior to the fight that we seen of Mike Tyson training, sparring looked incredible. He definitely fooled me 100%. I thought this is the Mike Tyson we all know. I mean, a slightly slower Mike Tyson, but definitely capable of beating up Jake Paul. But when he got into that ring, oh man, he looked like a really, really fragile Mike Tyson. I get it, he's 58 years old, but he looked more fragile than that. Like he looked like he was 80 or 90 the way he was moving. And it's just sad to see because I admire Mike Tyson so much, and obviously he's still the GOAT. He's still the man. He made a lot of money, a low ton of money from the fight. So it works for him either way. But I expected a really good fight with Mike Tyson because of those videos prior to the fight. But it was sad. It was really sad. But respect to Jake Paul. I mean, I don't know if that, because there's a lot of rumors going around that is actually a scripted fight. I don't know if that's true, because if it is, that's, again, whatever, I guess, you people, as long as people are entertained by it, I guess that's the point. But I was entertained. I was sad the entire time. I was so sad to see one of the greats, a man that I admire so much, look the way he looked in that ring. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way. But again, he made a tons of money from that. So for him, it's a win-win. Doesn't really matter. But the point here is, the fight, Jake Paul. If it wasn't scripted, Jake Paul could have really done some damage on Mike Tyson. And he stood back. You can clearly see he was holding himself back, and he was respecting the one of the greatest boxers in the world. He was respecting him by not engaging and by not really hurting Mike. So respect for him for that. But there were some moments where you kind of question, is this scripted? So it might actually be scripted, because there were some moments where Mike could have knocked out Jake Paul. He could have swung. It probably really hurt Jake Paul, but he didn't swing. Which why a lot of people believe that this is actually scripted. The entire thing was scripted. It might just be. I don't know. Because there's a video of Mike Tyson watching and studying Jake Paul, and he said it himself, like he keeps his head open every time he swings. He doesn't have a guard. So you can see what Mike is planning prior to the fight. And in those moments where he was just talking about how Jake Paul, when he swings the left hook, he has his face wide open. He keeps his head up. He could have really done some damage to Jake Paul, probably even knocked him out. He doesn't take it. He doesn't take the chance to do that. So it does. I mean, it's very questionable. It's very questionable. Honestly, I can believe it if it was scripted. But if it isn't, it is what it is. The fight between Katie and Amanda was great. It was a great fight. I feel like Katie should have been disqualified because of the headbutting. She caught Amanda above the eyebrow, really impeded her vision, and you could see her just wiping the blood from her eye. So I think that really, obviously, 100% didn't affect her boxing, her sight. When they put her on the spot by asking her, do you want to continue fighting? Just disqualify Katie, and because why would you put somebody in the spot? She's a fighter. Of course she's going to say, yes, I'll continue fighting. Why would she say otherwise? It just doesn't make sense to put somebody on the spot like that. But they should have at least deducted several points, not just 1 point, but several points from Katie. And I feel like because of that technicality, Amanda should have won the fight. Though Amanda did slow down. She did slow down, and Katie was just in the same pace, that burst of energy throughout the rounds. She definitely swung more. I feel like she definitely landed more than Katie or Amanda. So if not for the headbutts, she definitely would have won that fight. But I feel like she lost that fight because of the headbutts. But obviously, the judges thought differently, and she won the fight. But anyway, the point here being is that fight and the fight prior to that with the two Mexicans was a great fight, worth the entire event. But Netflix kept fucking up with their servers. How do you not plan for that? You know what I'm saying? You should have known a lot of people will tune in to watch this fight and, anticipated that. It just doesn't make sense to me. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. I think, just those two fights was worth the event. Other than that, it was really sad to see Mike Tyson looking like that, the way he looked in that ring. But leave a comment down below. You think it's scripted? I heard something about Twitter. There's a script that was leaked in Twitter. I don't know how true that is. I've seen the script, but I don't know if it's actually legitimate or just fabricated. I'm not sure. But leave a comment down below, and I appreciate you for watching.